Yo guys, what's going on? Lifeofrio here, and we're going to be talking about Hydroid scaling for endgame, and I'm actually really excited about this one because we're going to be talking about some important points, and you guys let me know how you feel about these in the comments section. I'm going to be reading all the comments and definitely checking out what you guys have to say. Now, Rebecca pointed out the part 2 of Hydroid's buff, which is coming out. Now, these are some simple things she said, but yet important at the same time, and I want to point out to you why they're actually important. Now, energy pool buff is actually a really big deal, and we're going to come back to that one a little bit later because it's actually a really big deal because he is such a caster frame that he spams a lot and he really needs that huge energy pool, because the thing about it is that he moves a lot and he has a lot of toggle abilities. So having those toggle abilities and having a higher energy pool really helps him out because he's going to be using one ability while another ability is active, and so that's going to help him stay afloat, you get it, a lot longer. So we're going to point that out to some other synergy of what's going to be going on to how he's going to be scaling. Now, the next key point of what Rebecca said is that what they're trying to do is while you have enemies in puddle, your teammates will be able to shoot those enemies and kill them while they're in the puddle. Now, the thing is that how would you be able to see it? I would suggest that, you know, they have it to where like a Kodak scanner to where the enemies are highlighted inside of the puddle. I think that would be like a good way. But why is this important? Now, we got to make a little joke out of this. Why are they trying to make puddle endgame? That's the first thing. I'm pretty sure nobody wanted puddle, but since we still have it, let's go ahead and humor the whole thing to how this thing could be amazing, right? Now, the thing about how this thing could be amazing is the fact that that's crazy amount of synergy to while the enemies are in there, your teammates will be able to kill them. Now, I would like to see an increased range, base range increase on puddle overall. But the really important thing here to why I'm actually, you know, excited about this is because while enemies are in puddle, every single enemy is opened up to a stealth multiplier. And you guys know how much I love me some stealth multiplier. So the thing that makes it crazy with Hydroid, which is different from all stealth frames, is while enemies are in the puddle, the stealth multiplier nerf doesn't apply to Hydroid, because while the enemies are in the puddle, they take the ×8 damage every single time. Now, the other thing that's crazy is because remember, the stealth nerf made it to where you only get the ×8 damage on the first hit. Now, what makes it insane for Hydroid is because they take the full ×8 every single time, and now what's actually going to happen again is while the enemies are submerged, you can actually use your 4th ability, and your 4th ability can stack with the stealth multiplier with adding in finisher damage. So that's what's got me kind of insanely hyped about this. Now, the other important thing is she said it's going to be doing scale. They're trying to have it to where it does scaling damage. So if you add scaling damage with stealth multiplier, then add in your 4th ability to where you can add in ground finishers, and your tentacle actually, while it swings them around, let's say you have your Zenny Star out there and you're doing all of that damage, you're going to be doing finisher damage plus the stealth multiplier damage. That's actually going to be some really insane freaking damage. And every time that your tentacles slam the enemies inside of your Zenny Star, they take the ground finisher damage from actually trying to get up with the stealth multiplier. I'm actually kind of shook because for a fact, I know DE don't know all the ins and outs of all the things that they're doing. Most of the time, they're just trying to please the community. And you know, most of the time, it's the YouTubers and just other people, us as players, that's testing out everything to see how it's crazy. But since I already knew this about Hydroid and I seen the fact that she's trying to add scaling damage to the 3, I actually hate his puddle. But this could actually be trying like endgame drowning. You could be drowning in some endgame style right now. You know when you was a little kid trying to get into the 6 feet in the pool and you were about like 3'9"? Dude, this is pretty insane. Your feet is not touching the bottom. So I'm really excited. Let me know what you guys think about this. How would you guys see the synergy working? Now, let me give you the downside towards this entire thing. The thing with this entire setup, getting the finisher damage and the stealth multiplier damage, is going to be a little bit different for most, because you have to have a Zenny Star. You would have to have a Zenny Star, or the thing is that even if you don't have a Zenny Star, if your friend has a Zenny Star and they use it, it would actually work like that as well. So while enemies are submerged, all enemies or all teammates that can perform anything of stealth is going to get the stealth multiplier on those enemies. So if you're running with an Ivara in the group, you're running with an Ash or anything else like that, all of them will be able to get the stealth multiplier while they're submerged in Hydroid's puddle. So I think that's a really great way of buffing the team's damage, and I think that's a good way of looking at it. Now let's look at it from the community standpoint of what we actually wanted. What we wanted was to get rid of puddle. Like I said, if you like puddle, you like puddle. Not a lot of people like puddle. I'm just saying. But that's the thing about it. We didn't want puddle. We wanted actually different moves. But this is what we're actually getting. So let me know what you guys think about it. Now, the other thing that goes into this is that the fourth ability, I feel like it still needs a damage buff, because this was not on purpose to how when the tentacles slam enemies around in your Zenny Star, it actually opens up the finisher damage. That was not intended. That's just stuff that, you know, I went ahead and figured out, and I actually talked to a couple of different people about. Now, that's not intended, but for the fact that it actually works is a great thing. I would like for them to keep it the way it is, because it would actually help Hydroid. Now, if DE go ahead and add scaling damage towards his third ability, while you're in puddle, you have a Zenny Star out, you're opening 2 different types of damage multipliers, you're going to be doing insane damage with your group. And do remember, the good thing about this is the point and click to how you can pull enemies inside of the bubble. So if you go right underneath your Zenny Star, it's actually going to be insane damage that you're going to be doing. So he will easily be able to scale in endgame with no problem at all. If they keep this exactly the way it is, and they don't even have to add a lot to it. They don't have to add a lot at all, because Hydroid can do that currently right now. You know, that's just a thing. But the reason why I never put this out is because, you know, it's limited to certain players because you need a Zenny Star with it. But if your teammates have a Zenny Star, now, the reason why I really was excited about this is also because now your teammates will be able to attack those enemies so that they can open up stealth multipliers without needing the Zenny Star at the same time. So I think that's going to be awesome. I think this is going to be a way better way on how to help him. So Hydroid is actually going to be doing some DPS now, and the thing is, he can actually do it on his own. So you just have to find your right elemental combos to be having the best type of survivability while doing damage at the same time. So let me know what you guys feel about this one in the comment section, and I will catch you guys later. Now guys, be sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please and thank you. You guys have been supporting the channel so well, and you guys are just freaking amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough. I've been coming with the videos like crazy. If you guys are not following me on Twitter, you guys are messing up. Please follow me on Twitter. Check it out. My name is Lifeofrio. Link is in the description. If you guys aren't following me on Twitch as well, you guys are missing out again. I'm streaming every day. My Twitch account name is Lifeofrio, and as you guys can see a little bit earlier, what I did with the lens, you can shoot the lens right beside you. I've been doing it the whole time in this video. Shoot the lens right beside you, and right as it's about to explode, and you know usually it will kill you, just go into puddle and you turn invincible and you take no damage at all. So that's what I've been doing. So he has different ways to do things with the utility of using his 1 in his 3. So basically what's happening is that his 3 is basically your invisibility. So while you're in 3, you perform everything else. Now, let me say this. I almost forgot. While you're in his 3 and you use your 4, and your 4 actually spawns out of your 3, I don't like that. I think while you're in your 3, you should be able to point on where to put your 4 instead of having it locked down on such a small radius, you know. So what I was doing here is actually using Hydroid as a defensive offensive frame, using nothing but defensive type abilities and defense turned to offense basically is what I did right here. And I actually went up to, I think, 78 minutes. So that was actually pretty fun. I'm definitely still testing, getting out more information for you guys. As you guys know, I got to keep testing for you. So much love, and I will catch you guys later on the next Warframe video.